Here is your WJER sports team.
All right, your WJER sports team today is Bill Hammerstrom, sports director, flying solo. No Roger Metzger, but I do have a guest co-host today. It is Tyler Waltz from the Tusky Valley track team. Hey, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely. So, as we have all season, we have some star track athletes on the program today. Of course, earlier in the season, we had some other All-Ohioans on. We had Sydney Stevenson from Dover. She placed at the state track meet for the girls in Division I. We also had from New Philadelphia their relay team, and we also had Preston Rieger, we have a couple of programs, including in the second half of the show will be Indian Valley and Carson Hostetler and their coach, Jimmy McPeak. But we're starting with the Tusky Valley track team. We have the East District Division III Coach of the Year. Congratulations. That's Brian Finney. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us. Truly, it's an honor because it's hard for our kids to get recognized sometimes. So I just appreciate that you guys are throwing us some love here.
Well, I saw your results at the state track meet, and it seemed like all the boys that you sent down ended up on the podium.
We had 6 boys go down, and we came back with 6 All-Ohioans, so it's the best result I've had as a coach going down to the state meet.
So, again, sitting next to me, he's a junior. Thanks for stepping up and taking the big microphone.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So, and also in studio, why don't you have your guys step up to the microphone, and you can introduce them one at a time, okay, Coach?
Yeah, come on up. So this is Jake Capper. Say hi, Jake.
Hi.
Jake, what was your favorite event this year?
Probably
Jake Capper. Say hi, Jake.
Hi.
Jake, what was your favorite event this year?
Probably the 800.
And Jake was a star for us in the mile and the 8, but also went to state in the 4x4 relay. Next, we got Eli Miller.
Hi, everyone.
Eli was on our 4x2 state squad and our 4x4 state.
4x4 because all the anticipation all night, everyone's done running, so everyone's ready to watch and finish the meet. So everyone's kind of involved. It's kind of exciting.
Everyone gets jacked up for the 4x4 at the end of the meet. Next is Marcus McNichols. Marcus.
Howdy.
Marcus was our anchor on our sprint relays, anchor on our 4x2 relay, and relays, anchor on our 4x2 relay, and really put us in an awesome position at the prelims at the 4x2 at state to get us in a good spot going into finals. Is 4x2 your favorite event this year, or the 100? He's our 100 guy, too. And then we have Cade Conrad. Cade is a freshman. Say hi, Cade.
Howdy.
Cade Conrad. Cade is a freshman. Say hi, Cade.
Howdy.
And what is your favorite event?
Probably the 4x4 for all the reasons. It's at nighttime and all the lights are on. Everybody's up. We're all ready to go. It's a fun time overall.
And that was our freshman, and he kept us in a great position at the.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking at your seating for both of those. Well, let's talk about who's not here today because he's a big part of your team too.
Okay, Abe McElwee was a sophomore for us this year. He made it to state in the Open 400. In which he placed 6th. He ran the 4x2, where we placed 4th, and he ran the 4x4, where we placed 6th. So he was a 3-time All-Ohioan. And, I don't know if he would say much if he was here, but he is obviously a big part of all of our success.
He's on special assignment, as we say in the radio business.
He's doing some R&R right now. He's got a lot of recovery for that body, what he went through for us the last few weeks.
So you guys had a great regular season. You were running, but I want to talk about going to the state meet because your seating in both of those relay events wasn't favorable, I guess, to making the podium. I think 11th and 17th. Is that about right?
Guys, you can help me out. I want to say one of them, I think we were 14th going in, and the other, was it 16th? Or in the teens in both of them going in. And so I don't know that innocent bystander looking at the entries coming in would have said, oh, Tusky Valley's going to place in any of those relays.
So what was your mindset going in?
Mindset was to just be consistent and keep doing what we were doing and not get big-eyed and by, the fact that we were at the state meet and to perform up to our capabilities. The 4x2, if you really look at the entries, everything was within a second and a half, all the entries coming in. So it's not like we were far away from the top seeds. And so we ran consistent from the top seeds. And so we ran consistent in the prelims. And then we kept PRing a little bit each time, really, in that 4x2. And the 4x4, kind of the same way. We just ran consistent. And at the state meet, when you have kids doing 3 and 4 events, that week didn't make it to the state meet in the Open 800. I think that worked out to our benefit in the 4x4 because he was very fresh when he had to run for us.
So which one was first, the 4x2?
4x2, yeah.
So who started that race for you?
Your co-host over there.
All right, co-host Tyler Waltz. Tell me about stepping to the block there, 4x200 in the finals of the.
Oh well, obviously nerves gets you a little bit because you're at state and it's the finals. And it's like what you've been working for all year.
Do you like those nerves? Do they push you a little bit?
Yeah, I think it does. Like me personally, but yeah, I mean, talking to a couple people before the meet, it was just I've been talking to a couple people before the meet. It was just I've been doing it all year, so it's just I kind of think of it as it's just another race, just get in the blocks and go as fast as I can and just get the baton around the track.
When you get started and you're running, are you paying attention to your competitors, or are you just running as fast as you can?
I kind of judge the gap between us of how far back I am or if I'm catching up.
So who do you hand off to then?
Hand off to Abe, but he's not here, so.
Okay, then who does Abe hand off to?
Eli.
Eli. So you're on the third leg, state finals of the state track meet. Abe hands it to you. Are you just running your best at that point?
Oh gosh, it happened so quick. I could not tell you where we were at. Actually, I remember handing off to Marcus. So after my leg was over, because it's all a blur, handing off to Marcus, there was 3 teams ahead of us, and Marcus was right there. And so we weren't far behind at all. We were written fourth. Which is incredible. And then I remember there was a good amount of time before another team passed me after I handed off. The top 4 in that race were so far ahead, and then there's a gap between 5th place.
All right, Marcus, you get the handoff and you're running the final leg. What do you see and what's the finish like? All right, Marcus, you get the handoff and you're running the final leg. What do you see and what's the finish like?
Well, I just see everybody ahead, and my goal is try to catch them, and if I do, I do.
So Marcus, when you guys started this race, I'm sure you're confident, you're good runners, but what were you thinking about making the podium?
I was so excited to try to get on the podium, and then when I knew we were going to on that podium, it was just try to see how high we can get up as a team.
So at the end of the race, is everybody there waiting for you when you're done? Does everybody make it around to the finish line for you? How does?
Not really. I have Abe down there with me once I finish, and then we'll walk to the middle. Done.
So is there a celebration when you're finished at the 4x200?
I mean, sometimes me and Abe hug it out or give a good high five, and then we celebrate and then hug each other or high fives everywhere.
And Tyler, what are you guys doing at the other side?
Me and Eli would just give each other a big hug. We get a little jump in, and just embracing the moment.
When we saw Marcus hawk down the other 2 kids in prelims to make finals, we were so surprised and just happy. I remember we did a shoulder bump. We were just on top of the world. It was awesome.
So talk about running in the preliminaries versus running in the finals. I mean, preliminaries, you're running for one more race. That could be your final race. So if you don't do well, you're done, right? Is it more stressful in the state championship finals, or is it more stressful in the preliminaries to get there?
I don't know.
That's Eli talking, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know. Prelims the goal was just to run our best. 4x2 was consistently PRing, so we knew we had a chance to make it, and the goal was just to make it to finals, and that was our goal. When we ran prelims, we just wanted to make it to another day, and then in finals, I wasn't too nervous. We were happy we were there, and we wanted to get as high as we could, our butts off, and it really paid off.
They ran their butts off. Listen to the pre-show talk about language, and they said ran their butts off. I appreciate that. All right, we have the Tusky Valley track team here, Coach Brian Finney and his athletes that are all Ohioans. First team, right? You make the podium. You're your first team all Ohio.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So the podium. You're your first team all Ohio.
Yeah, that's how it works.
So congratulations on them. We have more to talk about. We have to talk about that 4x400 relay too. But first, we have to do our Wendy's scoreboard update. So that's coming up right after the break.
Is there anything better than high school sports? Hi, this is Dan Hosteller of Ferris Chevrolet and Toyota. High schools and the people at Ferris have always been behind the importance of athletics and academics. Just like we believe in the great cars and trucks that we sell and service every day. Like high school sports, we are a great tradition in the area. Ferris on the Wabash, New Philadelphia.
All right, time for your Wendy's scoreboard update. JER last night. Jim Rosenhaus is in to tell us how they did.
On Friday night in Toronto, the Guardians defeated the Blue Jays by a final score of 3-1. Cleveland took the early lead on an RBI double by Daniel Schneemann in the second inning, added another run in the fourth when Will Brennan went deep, his sixth home run of the season, and they finished their scoring in the fifth inning on an RBI base hit by Andres Jimenez. Those 3 runs were plenty for the pitching as Logan Allen got the win with 5+ strong innings. He's now 7-3. Emmanuel Clase finished a perfect night for the bullpen with his 21st save. The Guardians will try and make it 2 in a row over the Blue Jays on Saturday afternoon. A 3:07 first pitch. Airtime for Guardians warm-up, 2:35. With your Guardians update, I'm Jim Rosenhaus.
Thanks, Jim. Again, listen to the Guardians today on WJER as they take on the Blue Jays. 3:07 first pitch, 2:35 pregame. Also an NBA Finals game yesterday. Let's go to the Associated Press for an update on that and other national sports news.
AP Sports, I'm David Schuster. There won't be a sweep in the NBA Finals. The Dallas Mavericks made sure of that, and they did it early on, blowing out the Boston Celtics 3-1 late in that series. Turning to golf, it's a crowded leaderboard halfway through the U.S. Open, with Sweden's Ludvig Åberg on top at 5 under par. Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Cantlay are 1 shot back. Rory McIlroy is 2 off the pace. Scotty Scheffler just made the cut at +5, while Tiger Woods failed to reach the weekend. Baseball made the cut at +5, while Tiger Woods failed to reach the weekend. Baseball, the New York Yankees are halfway to the century mark, winning game number 50 on Friday night, 8-1 over the Boston Red Sox. Also in the American League, Emmanuel Clase save number 21, Cleveland 3-1 over Toronto. National League, St. Louis shutting out the Cubs 3-zip at Wrigley Field. And interleague action, the Phillies overcame both rain delays and the Orioles, beating Baltimore 5-3. I'm David Schuster, AP Sports.
All right. Also, thanks to the Tuscarawas County YMCA, we have a schedule for Dover graduate and Olympic swimmer Hunter Armstrong for the 100 backstroke. He'll also compete later in the week in the 100 freestyle. So if you go to the Facebook page for the Tuscarawas County YMCA, we also shared it on the WJER Sports Facebook page. You can see that schedule, and you can actually watch those races on the Peacock Network, too. But his first swims would be the preliminaries in the 100 backstroke, 11 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. And that is your Wendy's scoreboard update.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Summer has arrived and things are sizzling on the Wabash. Hi, this is Dan Hostler at Ferris Chevrolet. Time to take advantage of rebates as high as $8,500, interest rates as low as 1.9. Now in stock with the best lineup of SUVs, the all-new redesigned Chevy Traverse, Chevy Equinox, Chevy Trailblazer, and Trax. Stop by and see a Ferris wheel and see what's cooking on the Wabash. Ferris on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Terms and conditions apply for well-qualified buyers. See dealer for details.
There are only 4 simple steps between you and a fantastic lawn, and Hillcrest Garden Center can show you how it's done. Stop in for the Scott's 4-step program and some big savings. When you purchase the 5,000 square foot program, you'll get a $20 rebate. And when you purchase the 15,000 square foot program, you'll get a $50 rebate. Hillcrest Garden Center, your complete garden center on State Route 800 in Dover. Open 7 days a week, year-round. Shop in store. Call ahead for curbside pickup or choose their delivery service.
We now return to Sports Talk, driven by Ferris, on the Sports Voice of the Valley, WJER.
Bill Hammerstrom, Sports Talk, my co-host today. Tyler Waltz, the Tusky Valley track team. How you doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
Good. Do you have any comments on any of the sports that we just heard? NBA basketball, Major League Baseball?
Going to Olympics is pretty cool.
It is amazing. So Hunter Armstrong's been on this program before. You see him on the wall over there.
Yeah.
In high school, he wasn't a state champion swimmer when he was going to Dover just had a big growth spurt, put in a lot of work, and now he's swimming professionally. He's got a gold medal professionally. He's got a gold medal. He is the defending world champ in the 100 backstroke. So that's the event that he hopes to qualify for in the Olympics. He's got to swim against a guy who was Ryan Murphy is his name. He had his poster on the wall when he was a kid. Mm-hmm. And then they became friends, each other to make the Olympic team. So that's his biggest rival. So he's going for the 100 backstroke. And we had a watch party last time. I think it was 2021. It was the 2020 games, but they were postponed a year because of the pandemic and everything. But good luck to Hunter Armstrong. But we're here to talk about the Tusky Valley track team. We have Coach Brian Finney. He's the East District Division III Coach of the Year. Let's talk about some of your other accomplishments this year. You're the IVC meet runner-up. You were the district champs. We talked about the 4x200 relay. That's Tyler Waltz, Eli Miller, Marcus McNichols. Abe McElwee is not here today. They were first at the IVC runner-up state qualifiers, and they placed fourth at the state meet, right? Am I getting all that correct?
Yeah, they had a great season.
And what's the best time I saw in the finals of the state meet? It was a minute 30.66 seconds.
Yep. We started the season, at 135, in the mid 135s. And last year, with these guys running, they ran maybe 136. Maybe they got to 135 by the end of the season. So they made just tons of improvement this year.
How'd they do it? Now they've always been fast. Do you have to work on the handoffs anymore, or how do you get
handoffs?
Oh, yeah.
So we had an epiphany this year, and we just completely changed our handoffs, how we normally did it, and we do a style of handoff in the 4x2 that no other team around us is doing, and it just made things a heck of a lot more consistent for us, and made these guys more confident in getting the baton around the track. So it's not something that looks conventional when you do it, but it's certainly something that helped these guys perform well week after week.
Can any of them describe the way you hand it off and how it's different from what? All right, that's Eli Miller again.
Okay, so you've got a runner, say it's Tiller. He starts the race and he has the baton. He's going to run his leg, but instead of getting to the exchange zone and yelling stick and having the other person blindly stick their hand back, he's going to instead keep his speed and run past the person as forced to get to full speed when they get the baton. And it keeps the baton moving at full speed instead of having it slow down at all. And I could, from experience, watching Tiller hand off to Abe, who then would hand off to me, that it was very obvious that we'd get it like a huge burst of speed, or we would move away from a lot of other teams during that handoff. It really helped us out a lot.
Did it make you nervous to have to switch to a different style of handoff?
It did at first, but almost immediately it was very obvious that it benefited us, and it really was that next step that we needed to be able to go far.
Season, Abe to Eli. There was the other team in the race had disqualified. It was just a small meet. And these two guys dropped the baton or were out of the zone or something. And I usually don't get mad, but I was pretty angry about that one. And at that moment, I was like, okay, we're switching this handoff. Because I sat on this idea for a season and a half. Coach McElwee and myself, we had talked about it, but no one else was doing it, so I didn't want to do it. So I was like, okay, we're trying this flyby exchange, and so it worked well for us this year.
So Coach Finney right now seems pretty relaxed in his seat. Can you describe how he was when you dropped that baton and after that exchange?
Oh, that was something else. We were the only team on the track too.
I wasn't even there for that. I had the flu, so I missed that meet.
Are you upset that you missed it because it was such an occasion?
I mean, I kind of wish I saw him get mad because he never does.
Such an occasion?
I mean, I kind of wish I saw him get mad because he never does.
Operation Avoid Coach went in full motion.
I happened to have the microphone in my hand just announcing, this is the next event, and so I got on the microphone and just kind of spoke my mind and said how that shouldn't happen, and
yeah.
Watching the meet kind of chuckled, but I was not in a laughing mood about it.
Now, can you look back on it and have a good time, or is it still a sore spot for you?
No, that was the thing that we needed to prompt us to try this new exchange. So I'm glad it happened, because I don't know if I would have been as willing to if we didn't have such a poor exchange early on.
All right, we want to talk about the 4x400 relay and somebody we should talk more about. He's your senior. He's Jake Capper, the IVC Athlete of the Year, IVC champ, 800, 1600. Can you talk about your senior, what he's meant to this relay team, what he's meant to your team?
Well, not just this year, but the last really 4 years. Really, like last year and this year, he kind of stepped up and has been that guy that you can just count on for points to help win meets. And so he'll do it. He'll sacrifice himself in his performance. That's a culture we're trying to create, a team first culture, even though you don't always think about track and field as a team sport. And so Jake has definitely been that, and we're just happy to send him out as an All-Ohioan, because he was an All-Ohioan in cross country. Now he's an All-Ohioan in track and field, and that's it's just a pretty awesome way to finish. It's just a pretty awesome way to finish his career.
All right, Jake, what are you doing next?
I'm going to be up at Mount Union running cross country and track for the next 4 years.
We got to move him closer to the microphone, don't we?
Just a little bit.
You can be like the director too.
All right.
You can move the microphone too. Low.
I'll be up at Mount Union for the next 4 years running cross country and track and field.
So. Are we good? Good, Tyler?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So, talk about the 4x400 relay at the state meet again. Is that the one where you seated 17th? I mean, you were kind of down there.
Yeah, I think we were lowest in that one.
So going into that,
we were lowest in that one.
So going into that, Jake, what did you think of your chances to make the podium?
Well, we were seated. We might have been seated pretty low, but just like the 4x2, we were all pretty tightly packed right around that 8th spot to get that podium, make it to finals. And so make finals, and that's what we did. There was 3 heats, and the top 2 in each heat automatically made finals, and they took the next 2 fastest times. And we were lucky enough to run that first fastest time to get us into the finals. So after
what heat were you in? First, second, or third?
We were second heat.
So you had to wait until the end of the third heat to see if you got in.
Yeah.
So what's the reaction there when you hear the announcement? Are you nervous? Are you waiting to hear it? How'd that go?
We were kind of on edge because we knew that there was a lot of fast. We were kind of on edge because we knew that there was a lot of fast teams there, and there was a lot of times that could beat the time that we ran in prelims.
When did you guys realize it? Do you remember when you realized you made finals?
I think it was the third heat. Well, we were expecting to be a lot more competition, and we saw their times come through, and they just were not what we ran at prelims, and that was like, holy crap, we might make the finals, and we did.
So who ran the first leg in the state finals?
That was Abe.
Abe did. He's the fastest leg. A lot of teams will put the fastest. We just kind of started out with him leading off early in the season, and it's just really nice to get your team in a good position where everyone else is chasing you, because that might make them run a little more unconventionally. And when you're chasing someone down, you might exert too much effort at the first half of your race, and so that strategy, I think, worked well.
I'll go together with your new style of handoff too. You start off with a big lead, and then you don't drop the baton anytime during the race.
I've seen other teams do that before, specifically Fairless a handful of years ago with their leadoff runner Tyler Neff. He was a 400 state champ, and I remember watching them play that strategy in the 4x4, and it seemed to work out. It seemed to work out well for them. So I kind of like it. I don't know if we'll continue it next year. We'll just kind of see what mix of guys we have moving forward.
All right, who's next? Who ran second?
That would be
Eli.
me.
Typically goes second, yeah.
Eli, talk about getting the baton and continuing there. Where were you? What were you?
Really good lead, especially at like the smaller meets. But in the finals, I think there's one other guy. We'd run through the curve in our lanes, and then I'd have to cut in because I'm the second leg. And I cut in. It's always a scary feeling. You don't know if you're going to cut someone off or anything. And there's one guy that was maybe a step ahead of me, and my goal was just to stay with him. And I think he really pushed me. And the baton to Cade, and it was all over.
All right, Cade, you get the baton. You're a freshman running in the finals of the state track meet. What are you thinking? Where are you at?
Well, usually all season, I get such a big lead. I don't even have to run with anybody. So it was really exciting to have to like be up there with actual grown men. And I didn't have to like be up there with actual grown men. And I mean, I think I passed the kid and then I just held on. But other than that, actually in the prelims, when I handed off to Jake, our anchor, we had maybe the worst handoff all year together. And that was we had maybe the worst handoff all year together. And that was the reason we thought we weren't going to make it to the finals. And we were just at the end of the prelims praying to make finals. And we just thought it was all over. And then we made it somehow, however that worked.
All right,
yeah.
And then you hand it off to Jake?
Yeah.
All right, wrap it up. Jake.
What an experience at the state meet. It was awesome being anchor for our team.
So you took the handoff from Cade. Do you remember where you were in the race, or again, are you just racing again?
We were right neck and neck with the top 4,
5, 6.
4, 5.
Like we were in there, in that mix.
We were right there, but being a little bit slower than a lot of the other anchors, with our fastest runner running first, it was tough to keep up. I went out 200 in a PR, 23, and I came back, held on, ran 51 split. So, it wasn't too bad. I held on to that pack and managed to get a 6th. So
it's a unique combo because two of these guys are more distance bound, and so to have a more of a distance guy as your anchor, it's again a little unconventional, but like he held his own. Like that's one thing that Jake has really done well over the past 2 years is work on his sprinting technique, even though he's not a sprinter, and so he fit right in with those other anchors.
So that's Coach Brian Finney. He is the year coach, Tusky Valley track team. You said that your performance at the state meet was the best since you've been there. We got to wrap it up because we got some Indian Valley guys coming in too. But you want to talk about this team as a whole and how great this season was for you?
So coming into this season, I kind of thought we have like a small window to jump through to be successful, and that was this year. Because I know Jake, as well as a few other seniors, Tegan Perkowski and Max McCoy and Landon Burwell and some of these other guys, Preston Cave, like they're going to be leaving us, and so. What surprised me was how many of our freshmen lettered and just how balanced I think we can be moving forward. And so it's really exciting. And it's just the strength of our team the past couple of years has been our distance squad, our D squad, which I like to call them. And they're still going to be strong, but our sprinters are going to be really strong next year. And we have some young throwers coming up and some jumpers that I'm excited about. So I think we can have a nice balanced team for the next few years. Jake, you running cross country and track at Mount Union?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And anybody else? What are you doing this summer? What are you working on? Football, basketball? What else you guys got?
Oh, I got basketball over the summer, so that'll be fun.
Okay.
Soccer starts up soon.
Oh yeah, it does. I also got that soccer and basketball this summer.
Finals tomorrow.
Wow.
I think I have one of the top seeds. I'm going for the All-American spot. So see what happens.
What are you running in?
The 800.
Well, good luck to you. Thanks for coming on and making some time for us. And my co-host, I think you got to stick around and interview Indian Valley, or are you probably going to take off with your team?
I don't really care, to be honest.
Off with your team.
I don't really care, to be honest.
So that's Tyler Waltz. What are you doing this summer?
Well, I got basketball, and then I got football coming up too. We just got a new coach, so I'm trying to make it to everything I can, but with basketball and work, it's kind of tough.
All right, let's run down everybody who's on the show today. We have Tyler Waltz, Marcus McNichols, Jake Cappers here, and Cade Conrad, along with Coach Brian Finney of the Tusky Valley track team. Abe McElway not able to join us today, but congratulations to all of them for an outstanding season. All Ohioans in the studio today. So again, Trojans, go Trojans.